this was really the place that I decided that I was going to be a community organizer, which, as you can imagine, my parents were like, say what? And it's also where I really learned the power of digital media. The Obama campaign in 2008 really did a lot of groundbreaking stuff with digital media. So in 2010, I went to the DNC in Organizing for America. And in 2011, I was one of the first people on the president's re-election campaign, which was awesome. And about 4 months ago, I joined the Organizing Institute as their communications manager. So basically, I write email and online content all day, every day. Okay, who here has heard the term the social media bandwagon? Raise your hand. Okay, great. So people are always like, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, get on Instagram, but that's not enough, right? It's not enough to just be there, so I'm going to tell you why you need to be there. Rule number 10, virality is hard. Who here has heard the phrase, my video is going viral, or has asked somebody, how do I go viral? Okay, there's more than 2 people in this room, come on. So everyone is always asking, how does my stuff go viral? Well, virality is hard, but it's not unattainable. The way to do that, there's a simple formula. You have to, you can look at this right here, or you have to remember that virality is based on people's willingness to share content. So if I produce really awesome stuff, people are going to want to share it, right? It doesn't just happen on its own. Make it really easy to share. This is a blog post from Upworthy. They have a really engaging headline, so I read this and I'm like, okay, great, I want to read more. They have a lead-in, so I have a really brief explanation of what the blog post is about. They've made their share button super accessible. And they've also given me a brief preview of the content. So now that they've hooked me, I'm going to go in and read this. Rule number 9 is that you must experiment. There is no magic formula. There's no one-size-fits-all. Some of the best online organizing programs have been results of people just testing and experimenting. Rule number 8 is have a social media game plan. Anything you do on the internet, you have to have a plan. Don't just throw things up willy-nilly. Remember that all pieces of your online program need to be coordinated. Facebook. Who here's on Facebook? I think everybody. Okay, awesome. Tips for Facebook. Remember that photos are king. You get 3 to 4 times more engagement when you share photos. Because of Facebook EdgeRank, it actually prioritizes photos, so those show up in your news feed. Remember to always have an ask. Remember that people have short attention spans. There's a million things to do on the internet, so you need to give them a reason to engage with your content. So to lead into that, all of your posts need to be engaging and action-provoking. This is just an example from HRC. They've just asked you to like a status. Once I like this status, I'm more likely to go interact with the other stuff on their page, right? Because I've already entered into the fold. Twitter. Who here's on Twitter? Not as many people. Okay. So in Twitter, you have 140 characters to say what you're going to say, right? Keep it short, please. Remember to always shorten your links with Bitly, which is a service that shortens your links and also allows you to track how many people have clicked on it. So that way you can see, like, does anybody even care about what I'm tweeting? Use hashtags to start conversations. For example, I'm going to be tweeting, hey, I'm at the Democratic Convention, hashtag DNC 2012. People click on that hashtag, they can see every single person that's tweeted with that hashtag. It's also a way for me to go back and look later and be like, oh, look at all these people that said all these cool things about the convention. Remember that you have less time to make an impression here because if you've ever looked at your Twitter feed, it's constantly scrolling and updating, so please be creative. Is there anyone here who could tell me when I'd want to use Twitter over Facebook when organizing? No. Okay, so maybe I'm hosting an event and it's happening right now, so I'm going to tweet, hey, join me at X location for a phone bank for President Deepa, right? Okay, rule number 7, remember that it's a conversation. Everything that you say, people are going to respond. It does not behoove you to ignore them. Great example. Who here's on the Obama campaign email list? Almost everyone. Okay, so they are sending lots and lots of emails because they need to raise money. When they launched their Dinner with Barack program, they were sending ridiculous subject lines like, hey, what's up? And people thought it was funny. So as our client tweeted, fine, I'll just sit here in the dark. Hashtag Obama campaign email subject lines. And this just took off. People started responding. This is my favorite. Saying those things. So the Obama campaign had a choice, right? They could either respond and say like, hey, that's not funny. We actually have to raise $1 gajillion, so quit it. Or they could just ignore it, or they could jump in the fray. So they chose to jump in the fray, and they used the same hashtag, and they said, hey, Twitter, this is great. Keep sending us these funny things. And they also used it as an acquisition moment, and they said, hey, if you're not already on our list, sign up now. And my favorite tweet is one of my friends tweeted she donated just because the Obama Twitter account responded. So this is just an example of how if you listen to your audience and you respond appropriately, you can actually win when you're actually pissing people off. Rule number 6 is build a community. There's so many things you can do on the internet, right? Look at all these different networks. Remember that there's real people behind the computer and you're talking to real people. Say things that you would say in a normal conversation and ask yourself, if my friend asked me this, would I do it? If it doesn't sound authentic, people are not going to do it. Remember that headlines matter. The same headline is written here 3 different times. The first one, great, I already know what you're talking about, I'm not clicking. The second one, just told me what the entire article is about. And the third one actually intrigues me, and I'm like, huh, I wonder what's going on. Maybe I'll click and read. Rule number 4, stay timely. Who here has seen the Curiosity Rover Twitter account? Okay, so it was a big deal. We landed a rover on Mars. The entire world was watching, right? So NASA took advantage of this, and they created a Twitter account for the rover, which is so cute. And the Twitter account tweets all kinds of cute things, and it's just really funny, so you should check it out. And this guy became an internet superstar. He was one of the flight engineers, and he has this crazy mohawk, crazy hairstyle, and he just became this internet meme, right? Barack Obama called him and referenced him as the mohawk guy. People were tweeting pictures of Barack and babies. So this just goes to show that NASA took a moment and they said, okay, people don't really care about space anymore, but now they do. So we're going to enter the conversation in this moment and tell people why it's important that NASA needs funding, right? Because the Republicans want to cut it, which is sad. Be risky. Oreo created this graphic for Pride Month. Who here has seen this graphic? It was kind of all over the internet. Okay, so this graphic I think is a really great example of how you can enter the conversation and become relevant, even if your cause has nothing to do with what people are talking about. What does Oreo have to gain by talking about gay marriage? What do they have to lose, right? They're a cookie company. They have 27 million Facebook fans. I'm obsessed with Oreo's Facebook page. You should check it out. They do an amazing job. But they released this graphic, and people started talking and saying, like, I'm never eating Oreos again because I hate gay people. Then a bunch of other people were like, you know what? I'm going to go buy Oreos and eat them with my gay best friend because this is awesome. So this was just a moment when someone took a chance, right? Someone at Oreos said, let's stand up for the values of inclusiveness, of fairness, and equality, and let's see if people respond. Again, he took a chance, and it worked out. Remember to jump in when it's relevant. Who's seen this Venn diagram? It's a little old. So the Romney campaign decided they were going to release a bunch of Venn diagrams. Well, they kind of forgot to Google what Venn diagrams are because this is actually not what a Venn diagram is. The middle is supposed to be where those two things overlap, right? So Upworthy released a Tumblr called Then and Now, started making fun of the Romney campaign. And regardless of whether or not you think Mitt Romney's a dumbass or whatever, you saw this and you laughed, right? Like, they jumped into the conversation, they made themselves relevant, and people started looking at those Venn diagrams like, wait a minute, none of these make sense. Now, the Romney campaign did not listen to the internet because they continued to release Venn diagrams that were incorrect, so don't do that. Remember to ask people for their stories, because we know that stories are what move hearts and minds, right? It's not facts, it's not campaign lit, it's stories, people's real stories. Who remembers when this happened? This was a big deal. Okay, so the entire progressive community was up in arms. Tumblr, someone went on Tumblr and created this thing called Planned Parenthood Saved My Life. Just a bunch of people submitting stories about why they use Planned Parenthood for their healthcare provider. And it was something that was not sanctioned by Planned Parenthood. They had no control over this, but the internet was just responding to something that they felt like was a big deal. Rule number 1, the most important rule, test, and test some more. Have people in here heard of A/B testing? Maybe some? No. So A/B testing is just the idea that you're always testing one thing against the other, right? If you're writing emails, test your subject lines. See if certain subject lines have better open rates, better click-through rates, and things like that. Okay, quickly go through your online toolbox. One thing you can use to get involved is a call tool. Has anyone here ever made calls using a call tool online? Awesome, and I'm guessing most people in here have phone bank, or you should if you haven't. Okay, it's so fun. So when you log into the call tool, this light box pops up where it tells me who I'm calling, what I'm calling about, gives me a little bit of background so I don't feel nervous, and then it gives me a script which has already been loaded with people that are around my neighborhood. So I put in my home address in North Carolina so I could call Mary and tell her why Paul Ryan sucks, following the script, of course. Dashboard is the Obama campaign's online organizing hub. When I log into Dashboard, look at all the things I can do. I can see what events are in my neighborhood, I can read messages, I can go make calls, I can join groups, I can watch videos and get fired up. This was a response to a lot of people saying, hey, like, I live in a random part of the country where I don't have a field office, or I'm scared, I don't want to go into a field office because I feel like people make fun of me because I don't know how to phone bank. So they came up with this dashboard which it connects you to supporters all across the country, and it's just a really easy way to get involved. Voter reg, super important. This is the way that we're going to win. We have to register all voters. The Democratic National Committee came up with this open source app where you can now embed a voter reg form in your website, which is awesome. This is just another way that Democrats and progressives, I should say progressives, are democratizing online tools. Organizer's Guide to Election Administration. This is awesome. It's free. It's online. It's a 50-state guide on election admin law, which is super complicated, and you can do a lot of illegal things if you don't know you're doing them when you're registering voters. So this is just a guide for organizers everywhere. Use mobile. The Obama campaign has an awesome canvassing app, and also find ways to talk to your supporters. This is from AAPIs for Obama. They're asking folks to text UNITE to 62262 to keep them up to date. pretty awesome. The way I did that was sending everyone a personalized email. Every single person in my address list. It was a nightmare, but it worked. We also have free resources and trainings. NOI is doing a series of free trainings from now until Election Day on everything under the sun when it comes to organizing, online and offline. And we also have something called the Organizer's Toolbox, where you can go and watch videos on how to register voters, how to create a Facebook page and use it to organize, etc. That's all. 1 minute.
Fantastic.